As good as
You're part of the team and
can be planned, I think. He's definitely improved, not just on the field. I think, but I think it all ties together. He's comfortable in the offense now, so he can kind of come out of his shell a little bit around his teammates, which allows him to be a more vocal leader, which in turn makes his presence and things like this a lot better. And so it's just all, when you're playing good, things seem to snowball in a good way.
It happened pretty quick for you guys.
Yeah.
Being Florida State.
Yeah.
Now, what are you guys going to do for encore?
I've been asked that a bunch. It's our goal each and every year is just to compete for and win the American Conference Championship, and at the end of the day, our conference has set itself head and shoulders above all of the other non-Power 5 conferences. What that means is you're going to go to the New Year's Six Bowl game, and so if we can continue to do that each and every year, then regardless of the record, or whether we lose one or two or none or whatever the case may be, if we win our conference, we're doing our job.
The whole offseason I've been really honing in on just fundamentally finding my technique and repeating that every single time.
I said maybe. I said our front seven will be the best we play, save for maybe Oklahoma and Temple. So obviously they've got to replace a few dudes, legitimate bona fide dudes in Matakevich and
it does make sense.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, I'm a pretty good golfer too, so every time I go out and golf, it's just like
single digit guy.
Yeah, Matt Ioannidis.
Ioannidis, there it is. Yeah, I was going to say Leonidas, but that was from Spartan. Yeah. So they've got to replace those guys, but man, when their sub guys were in, even last year, the younger guys, obviously you can't play every defensive player every snap, so you got to give them a break, whether it's a series or a few plays here and there, whether it be on film or when we played them. There was not a drop off, and I can only assume that those guys have now gotten better over the course of the year.
You've had so much success in the quarterbacks. It's been great.
One, good recruiting.
Well,
I'm
with three.
I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I'm not taking David Bassity and turning him into a Heisman Trophy candidate.
Sorry, Dave.
That I can tell you. But so one, good recruiting, and two, relationships. I think the guys that I've coached have trusted me and have been willing to do anything and everything I ask them to, because I think, and then that again snowballs, because if you're JT Barrett and Cardell Jones, you see what I did, the way me and Braxton interacted, and the relationship that we had, and how much Braxton improved. And then if you're Greg Ward, then you see how JT and Cardell and the relationship we had and what we were able to do with him. And so I think success breeds success a little bit because of trust and because of relationships, and they let their guard down, and they don't, as Coach Meyer would say, they rip their chest open, grab their heart, hand it to you, and say, "Coach me. I want to be great." And we do to the best of our abilities, at least. Now, the one thing I do want on the record, I don't coach Greg Ward. Major Athlete coaches Greg Ward, and he's done a fantastic job with it. I coach Major a little bit,
It's nice to have two.
Yeah, and then, I help with the quarterbacks as much as I can, but, I want Major to get his credit where credit is due. That is, just so, does everybody see this?
Magic.
There's a real, a tape in there. There's a tape in there, Steven.
It's cassette tape, sir.
Cassette tape, yes.
Mixtape.
Radio Shack logo.
Maybe mixtape.
Maybe a mixtape. Yes.
like that. Here in
I
American
freaking love it.
It's proven itself over time.
I know, right?
Great success.
Coach, you talk time and time again about preparedness, game preparedness, practice. This group, what's left of last year, came into spring drills with that mindset of being prepared every day. What's it been like from spring to fall and everybody ready to go to work tomorrow?
I think it's been night and day compared to last year in terms of everybody knew what to expect in spring ball. They knew what to expect in summer off season. They know what to expect in training camp. They know we've all signed a contract that we will embrace and willingly participate in the hardest training camp in college football. And they embrace that. They understand that that's how we do what we do. That the fun is in the winning, and the fun is on Saturdays. The fun is not in the training. The training is really hard, really hard around the place. And so, but the rewards are astronomical. We had a team meeting last week. I said, and I called on a few people. I said, Cam Malvo, when you were standing on that stage, the 50-yard line at TDECU Stadium, and it felt like the whole city of Houston was at your feet, and you were kissing the American Championship trophy. Did you think about how hard training camp was? He said, no, Coach, absolutely not. And they don't. At that time, it's just pure exhilaration and euphoria. And the same, and then I asked Greg, when you were standing, in the middle of the Georgia Dome holding the MVP trophy and seeing 20,000 Cougs in red, did you think about how hard summer training was in 108 heat index? Absolutely not. You don't. And so you make it so difficult in the preparation so that you can experience the euphoria and the exhilaration of victory that always supersedes the pain and turmoil of the preparation. Absolutely. He's very uniquely humble for a guy that plays that position. Usually the great ones that I've been around, really all the great ones I've been around, have had a healthy confidence, a healthy borderline arrogance. And he's the first one that I've been around that has been the flip side. I mean, it's humility to the nth degree, and it's real. I mean, that's the way he was raised. He was raised to be seen and not heard, and he was raised to deflect credit and take blame and praise everybody around him. And thank God he was, because you want that in a quarterback. Now, does that mean the kid's not competitive? Absolutely not. I mean, the kid, he wants to be the best, and he wants to take control at the same time doing it. But there's just really no arrogance to him in doing it.
Teams and coaches focus obviously only on the next game. It was a great opportunity for you to focus on the next game. Could it be overstated as what kind of opportunity that is?
Yes, it can be overstated. And it has continually been overstated this entire offseason.
I appreciate that.
Because it's a game, and it's a non-conference game. And so we'll prepare the first 2.5 weeks of training camp like we always do, which is we're not going to talk about the opponent. I haven't watched a snap of video. I haven't. There's no need to. And we're going to, the first 2.5 weeks of training camp will be about developing leaders, about developing young players, developing an identity for this football team that can sustain a 13, 14, 15 game season. And our goal always has been and always will be to win our conference. And the last I checked, if we beat Oklahoma, Mike Oresco is not coming out in the middle of the field and handing us the American Athletic Conference trophy. We got to wake up. We got to wake up the next week, play tomorrow, and 10 days from that game, we got to go to Nippert Stadium on a Thursday night blackout, national TV on ESPN, and play our first conference game. So it is great for the city of Houston. It's great that we're hosting it. It's a fun test early, and we'll be better off having played that game for the rest of the season. But